after we study about the definition, the roles, and the search of a verb, we will study about the application of a verb in a clause that is a declarative statement, an interrogative statement, a negative statement, and an interrogative statement. We will also study about a negative interrogative statement and an appended interrogative statement. The way to state a clause in the negative statement is to apply a modal verb, do, does, or did, according to the tense of the clause, the number, and the role of the subject in the conversation. For a general verb, the speaker applies the modal verb did for a clause stated in the past tense. The fact that the speaker states a statement about the past means that the experience, condition, or action in the past is important at the present. The speaker accentuates on the definition of the general verb, so the speaker applies the general verb to apply the past experience, condition, or action in the same form with every subject. The speaker differentiates the form of the be verb to describe an existence or a condition in the past according to the number of the subject, because the fact that the speaker states the existence of the subject in the past conveys the very basic intent. So the fact that the speaker states the existence of the subject in the past means that the speaker intends to tell the listeners about the importance of the subject with the number of the subject. So the form of the be verb is differentiated into was and were. The be verb was to describe the singular subject in the past, and the be verb were is applied to describe the plural subjects in the past. The modal verb do or does reveal the information about the subject, the number of the subject, and the role of the subject in the conversation that happens at the present. The speaker applies the modal verb does for a subject, and the subject does not participate in the conversation with the speaker. In these two conditions are met, the speaker applies the modal verb does to describe the subject. The number of the subject is plural. In the other cases that so the two conditions can make the four cases. The number of the subject is plural. The number of the subject is singular, and the subject participates in the conversation with the speaker. The speaker can be applied to this case, and the number of the subject is singular, and the subject does not participate in the conversation with the speaker. In this case, the speaker applies the modal verb does. The third case is this: the number of the subject is plural, and the subject do participate in the conversation with the speaker. The listeners are applied in this case, are accorded to this case. The speaker applies the modal verb do to describe the subject. To specify the definition of the general verb. And the fourth case is this: the number of the subject is plural, and the subject do not participate in the conversation with the speaker. The subject can be indicated by the personal pronoun they. The speaker applies modal verb do to describe the definition of the general verb to describe these subject. The speaker who states the clause in the future tense applies the modal verb will. That is also applied as an indication. the definition of the noun will is related to the determination of the subject for a future event. This can be understood with the fact that the future experience, condition, or action is not determined at the present. So the speaker is stated to have a will for an experience, a condition, or an action that is expected to actualize in the future. The form of the general verb and the be verb is the same as the speaker focuses on the definition of the general verb or be verb when the speaker states about the future experience, condition, or action. The speaker, in many cases, the speaker prefers to state a clause into a statement that is positive without the adverb not, but the speaker applies the adverb not to make the negative statement. The speaker applies the modal verb to specify the definition of the general verb. Did, do or does, and will for each tense of the clause. The speaker applies the adverb not to describe the modal verb. So the specification by the adverb not is according to the indirect specification. The speaker applies the modal verb, the adverb not, and the general verb. The effect of this indirect description is in the ambiguity. For example, I do not swim. There is a clause, I do not swim. If the speaker says, I do swim, the speaker wants to emphasize the definition of the intransitive verb swim to actualize at the present with the emphasis. The speaker applies the adverb not to deny the emphasis by the modal verb do. So the present condition of the speaker, who is described by do not swim in the clause I do not swim, can be any condition except the condition described by the definition of the intransitive verb swim. The speaker can study the Bible. The speaker can eat lunch. The speaker can be in a case, except the case that is described by the verb in the negative statement. That's the ambiguity. So the speaker prefers to state a clause in the positive statement. And if the speaker applies the adverb not, the ambiguity, we can understand that the ambiguity is intended by the speaker. This ambiguity means, this ambiguity is on the premise that the opposite action of to swim is mostly understood as the condition not being swimming in the static condition compared to the various possibility of the opposite condition described by a general verb. The opposite condition of the condition described by the be verb is the only one. The speaker who described by the be verb exists at first, and the be verb that is specified by the adverb not describes the non-existence of the subject. These are just the two cases that the adverb not can affect to a clause that a be verb is applied. So we can understand that the ambiguity of the statement, the negative statement, that a be verb to describe the existence of the subject doesn't exist. The be verb to describe the condition of the subject can also be described by the adverb not. In this statement, the be verb and the adverb not can convey the ambiguity of the negative statement as well. For example, there is a clause, I am not hungry. Then the speaker can be in a condition to be thirsty. The speaker can be happy. So these are the application of the adverb not for a negative statement. A negative statement can be constituted with the other adverb to make the declarative statement into the negative statement.